This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. Denver Catholics sue to ban LGBTQ+ kids, families, and staff from preschool. The Denver Catholic Archdiocese, along with two of its parishes, is suing the state, alleging their First Amendment rights are violated because their desire to exclude LGBTQ+ parents, staff, and kids from Archdiocesan preschools keeps them from participating in Colorado's new universal preschool program. The program is intended to provide every child 15 hours per week of state-funded preschool in the year before they are eligible for kindergarten. To be eligible, though, schools must meet the state's non-discrimination requirements. The Denver Archdiocese, St. Mary Catholic Parish in Littleton, and St. Bernadette Catholic Parish in Lakewood filed suit against Lisa Roy, Executive Director of the Colorado Department of Early Childhood, and Dawn Odian, Director of Colorado's Universal Preschool Program, on Wednesday. The Denver Archdiocese said in the suit they do not believe adhering to their religious beliefs against accepting LGBTQ+ people qualifies as discrimination. The lawsuit states that St. Mary's and St. Bernadette's each require their preschool staff to sign annual Archdiocesan-approved employment contracts, affirming that staff abides by traditional Catholic teachings on life, sexuality, and marriage. It also said that enrolling children with gay parents into archdiocesan schools is likely to lead to intractable conflicts because a Catholic school cannot treat a same-sex couple as a family equivalent to a natural family without compromising its mission and Catholic identity. Oh my goodness. We keep talking about families and how families are treated, and we're supposed to revere family, the family unit. I don't think that any one group can determine what a family is. And for this diocese to go to those limits, to those extremes, to exclude families and teachers and kids who may think differently is painful for me to watch. It's an ongoing effort, I think, to erase as much of the LGBTQ+ community as possible. And as we constantly say at Sunshine Cathedral, that's not going to happen. We are going to support every kind of family, every unit that calls themselves a family, because that's what love is supposed to be all about. Anything else is terrible, draconian, and unacceptable.
Yeah.
I got a 3-point sermon here. Point number one, look up the word discrimination.
Yep.
It is the hello. What do you think it means?
Yep.
You're not letting them do a thing because of who they are. P.S. That is the dictionary definition of discrimination. So yes, it is discriminatory. Sorry about you. Point number two, natural family.
Yeah.
What can you stand it? Does that make your ass want a dip of snuff? I came from a so-called natural family. I've known so many people from natural family, and we don't have time, and it's the internet. We really have all the time in the world, but we don't have time for me to tell you all the dysfunction, all the pain, all the abuse, all the neglect, all the craziness that happens in natural families. And what's natural about it? With Solomon, with his 700 wives and 300 concubines, was that a natural family, as opposed to two people who have made a commitment and they're keeping their affairs in order and raising kids with love? And I mean, it's abusive to suggest that there's only one way to be natural, and it's the way you approve of. And if you have to micromanage that, then how natural is it anyway? Because if it was natural, it's just the way things would unfold. And if people pair up in lots of ways, and if they share their childhood, I mean, how many natural families have 4 or more parents, and the children go back and forth between the homes, and the churches and the schools, or they spend summers here or Christmas there or whatever. It's not about natural, it's about discrimination against LGBTQ+ people. And it's not righteous, and it's not holy, and it's not healthy, and it's not reasonable. maybe I just have 2 points in my sermon because those are two good ones. Maybe I just leave it with that. But it's. Oh, I do remember my third point, and that is, I love Catholic spirituality. I love the mystics. If you take out Catholic history, you have wiped out 75% of Christian history. So I'm no big Catholic basher. And this is something the Roman Catholic Church has done forever. Is they oppose cultures and try to change them. They wipe them out by conversion or by wiping them out. And so indigenous cultures, Muslim societies, during the Middle Ages, Jewish groups, the Catholic Church has a long documented history of saying those people are wrong. The only way they be right is for them to become like us. And they'll either become like us or we will get rid of them. And LGBTQ plus community is one more mission field for them. This is a long history. You'll do it our way or we'll get rid of you. And that sounds harsh, but that is the history, and that's what's going on here with LGBTQ plus people.
And we just have to state for the record that the birth of Jesus was not into a natural family. Let's just name that. We were talking about this natural family concept and all these years. The birth of Jesus into a family was not natural. That was as queer could be.
And the celibate priest preaching this, man. I mean, that's not a natural family. We call you father, but you don't have any children. We call you father, but you don't have any spouse. That's not a natural family. It's crazy making. It's just crazy making.
I went through the Catholic Inquirer class many years ago, which steps away before becoming almost a Catholic. Ooh, but the first black Catholic in my family, I think everybody would have turned over to the grave. But anyway, it was amazing going through that class, what they hold for faith, what they hold for tradition and all this kind of stuff. But now, many years later, as I look back at that, it's like, there's a lot of things that this story could be about. And one of the things that strikes me about the particular story is about what they must do to uphold the Catholic rule. Well, change the rule. If you have that much authority to enforce it, then change the rule to become more accepting. How would your church look if you are more accepting to people who are hurting, to people who don't have the natural family that you deem is necessary to be in your congregation? Why do you think folks are leaving your church?
Yep. Good point. I mean, we study how denominations are declining. They are declining. And the Roman Catholic Church is one of them. Now, they may argue with you that they are not declining. Guess what? They're declining. There's a reason for that. And one of the reasons probably is that they're not as accepting and warm and welcoming to everybody as they should be, as they could be.
And the longer and the tighter you hold to the rules and regulations of how you think they should be, the more you will lose out.
Yeah, when rules matter more than relationships, when law matters more than love, then you've already lost. Even if you maintain power for another century, you've lost. You've lost the plot. You've lost the point. And people, I think people are getting to a place where they just won't settle for less than love. They're just not going to settle for less anymore.
They don't have to. There's so many churches now that are warm and welcoming, like Sunshine Cathedral and others, open and affirming, welcoming and celebrating, that they don't have to stay where they're not accepted and affirmed for all of who they are. We are excited to tell you about our next adventure with our Global Fellowship. In 2024, we'll be going to where the hills are alive as we explore Austria and Alpine Europe for Gay Oktoberfest. Space is extremely limited, so make sure to go to happeningout.travel/sunshine to reserve your space now.
Would you like to join the Queer God Squad on a special winter cruise in 2024? Well, now you can. You will visit Cozumel, Mexico, Grand Cayman, and Ocho Rios, and you can even add an open bar and Wi-Fi. Join us by going to happeningout.travel/sunshine.